Hey guys, Grumpy here with another episode of Fast 5. So in the previous episode we made some monumental upgrades to the fleet, that being the Ziggurat and a Radiant. Two very powerful, very capable ships. I can't wait to show them off, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. So here's Summer Olympus at the start of the episode, currently level 13. I did gain one level in between this episode and the last one. The skill that I picked up was bulk transportation, or bulk transport. It I was running into fuel and cargo issues as you do, having two capital ships and absolutely no freighters. So this is a somewhat solution to that issue. Basically, what it does is it increases the cargo, fuel, and personnel capacity of all your ships. So that's gonna tide us over very nicely. So taking a look at the fleet, here's what we have. We have the Radiant and the Ziggurat, and we also swapped out the Griffin for a Legion 14. The reason we have the Legion 14 and this fleet is because I have a very specific task in mind today. But really quickly, I'm going to go ahead and break down the Radiant and the Ziggurat because I don't think I have up to this point. The Radiant is a very powerful, very capable ship. Um, I came up with a rough design at the end of the previous episode, but I wasn't really happy with it, so I tore it down completely and rebuilt it. And this is what I have. This is what I came up with. It uses 3 plasma cannons to do significant amount of single target DPS. It uses sabopods to overload a target and also do considerable hull damage. Each sabopod does 200 times 5 damage, so 1,000 just base damage, so that would be roughly 1,000 damage to hull. And then you fire 2 every time you shoot this off, so it's roughly 2,000 damage to hull with every sabopod. That's significant. That can take down most frigates in the game and seriously wound destroyers. So that's some nice AoE as well. And then finally we have the Locusts. The Locusts are a very powerful finisher against single targets. So what it does is 200 damage and there's 40 locusts per shot. So that's 8,000 damage to hull. And then you have 2 of them, so that's 16,000 damage if all of your locust swarm connect, which is unlikely, but if it does, that's pretty much bye-bye to to most ships in the game. And then next up we have the Ziggurat. So I'm not happy with this design, but it is functional. What it does is it relies on phase anchor and tachyon lances, as well as the rest of these weapons with cooldowns to maximize its damage. Phase anchor, what it does is when you're in phase space, it reduces the cooldown of your weapons. So your tachyon lances get to fire a lot more often. The cooldown of your heavy needlers gets to fire a lot more often. And then your swarmers, they also have a cooldown of roughly 6 seconds, get to fire faster. Um, Phase Anchor is really powerful. It affects missiles, so your Typhoon Reapers and your Swarmers also get affected. It's not just conventional weapons. Um, yeah, not much more to say about that. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into today's task, which is searching blue giants. So the reason we're searching blue giants is because we are looking for a mega structure known as a coronal hypershunt. That is correct. In this episode, we will be doing the hypershunt fight. So I searched Elgard, I didn't find it here, and then I search Urid, which is a nearby blue giant, and I was very surprised to find it. The hypershunts, there are only 2 in each solar system, so to find it on my second blue giant is a bit of a blessing. It's very close to Myasora. Anyway, we jump in and we go ahead and begin the fight. So I'm not going to comment too much over it. I'm going to let the fight speak for itself, and I hope you guys enjoy. So the Coronal Hyperjump features two Tesseracts, which are loaded with Omega weapons that do a lot of damage in their own right, but usually also have conditional or additional secondary effects. So to begin the fight, I give the harass command to one of the Tesseracts, and then I overwhelm the second one with the rest of the fleet. I checked the tactical map and I noticed that the Aurora is getting flanked by one of the Tesseracts. In order to solve this, I give the eliminate command to it to try to move it out of that area. Um, as long as the Aurora isn't flamed out, it is a very maneuverable ship, so hopefully that's enough to separate the two. To try to assist its escape, I use my moats defensively to shut down the Tesseract's weapons, just to give the Aurora a little more breathing room. So with one Tesseract mostly finished off, I go ahead and check on the monitor, and then I reposition my fleet. I assign the Aurora one bit, the Radiant the other bit, and then I begin to transition the fleet over. We do end up losing the monitor. Most Omega weapons arc across shields, so Batar did as well as she could with what she had. We will continue on without her. here I do two things. One, I finally noticed that my swarmers weren't on auto fire. Would have saved me a lot of headache with these smaller fighters flying around. And then two, I use my moats defensively to buy some time for the rest of my team to show up. In the meantime, my legions are just gonna have to tank. And with that, a nearly flawless victory for the Fast Five. Um, can't really complain with how the fight went. Um, Very happy with the results. I honestly did not think it would be possible when I began my journey, but here we are. So for our rewards, we get the Reality Disruptor and the Rift Cascade Emitter, both extremely powerful weapons, and I cannot wait to apply them to the ships that we do have. And then we also get a handful of medium and small weapons. Um, Not to gloss over too many, the Resonator and the Rift Lances are very powerful. We also get a handful of mini pulses, which is just nice to have. Anyway, let's go ahead and head back to Myasora and reflect on our journey so far. So as we conclude this challenge, I want to say thank you to everyone that joined me on this journey. Thank you for showing support, leaving comments. I really do appreciate it. When I started this challenge, I didn't even think it was possible. To be honest, I expected us to crash and burn the first like large pirate armada that we fought, but the fleet persevered, and it just goes to show how clever and creative ship design and maximizing tactics can get you in this game. So again, thank you everybody that joined me on this journey. I would strongly recommend this challenge. It doesn't have to be 5, it could be 7, 10, whatever it is. Just give it a go yourself. But I'm excited to conclude this because that means new opportunities on the channel, and I hope you guys see me through to those as well. And now I want to give a massive thank you to my supporters. At the Explorer tier is Randall Porter, and at Starfare are Zoni and Wet Noodle. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. It does mean a lot to me to show support. If you would like to support this channel as well, consider becoming a YouTube member. I will not run ads on this channel, but if you would like the most direct way to support me, consider getting a membership. Other than that, Grumpy out.